Good morning, friends, followers and channel members. Wow, that was dramatic. Not quite what I had in mind. It was almost as dramatic as the weather. Here we are at Stansted, and visibility is around 150 metres. Thankfully, the weather is much better at Glasgow, which is where we're heading this morning. So, low visibility procedures are obviously in force here at Stansted this morning. Great to see some of you up and early for a morning stream on a Friday. Very rare that we do this, but sadly there will be no stream this evening, so I thought we'd try and get one in this morning instead. At least we had one. At least we had one today. That's the main thing. In fact, I think we've streamed 5 out of the last 6 days, which is just incredible. So thank you for everyone for your support during that time. Good morning to everyone. Hey, Pete, you're just waiting for Johnny Depp to arrive. Yeah, it did sound a bit Hans Zimmerish, didn't it? Anders, Mark, Christian, Dark Fury, Jayha, good morning. 36,000 feet en route to Malaga. Good luck. Mark, SC Ramers, Harshama, we've got no problem taking off in this weather. It's fine. We just need to be extra cautious, of course. And Paul Warren, hello to you as well. So, we are on VATSIM as always, sadly, of course, as probably expected. There's no ATC around this morning. It's the last Friday before all the schools, colleges, universities break up here in the UK. Also known as Mad Friday, which I guess if you're in the UK you'll know all about that. If you're not, it's kind of the day where everyone goes a little crazy, perhaps too crazy in some respects. My Mad Friday will be as mad as every night trying to wrestle 3 toddlers and a 6-year-old into bed. Bravo 632, good morning. And Scott Franks, good morning to you. You're going to be watching the whole thing whilst working from your kitchen. Scott, I think you're setting a precedent there. How many other people are watching whilst working, in inverted commas? Let's get the operational flight plan pinned into the chat for you guys watching on YouTube, and of course we are also streaming to Twitch and Facebook, so good morning to our users there. Let's pin that message up. There we are. Adolfo, good morning to you as well. It seems to have been a while since we've done an early morning stream as well, so nice to be able to be live for those of you in other parts of the world. Dark Fury, it did sound rather like an epic cinematic opening, didn't it? I kind of liked it though, if I'm being completely honest. J-Hog, you're watching whilst working? No, you're not. Adolfo, you're working as always. Great stuff. So here we are, stand 44. This is the Freeware Stansted mod as well. If you haven't got this, I highly recommend going and get that. Christopher Axon, hello from Lincolnshire, and Tunde, you will be late for work. You're watching from Canada. What time is it in Canada? Is it about 5 AM, something like that, depending on which part of Canada you're in, of course. We are obviously cold and dark, so we need to fire our aircraft up, do the usual tests, etc. That was interesting. Did anyone just see the APU button fire? Oh, guard. Open up. That was very strange. Don't think I was responsible for that. Catering and luggage is on its way, and I think we have the is the GPU attached? Yes, it is. Great stuff. Bravo 632, you're also working, watching whilst working. Great. Well, hopefully we can provide you with some entertainment and education as we get you up to Scotland. So, with everything in place, let's get those batteries fired up. Voltage is fine, and I'll get the external power connected. Terry, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Mark, you're going to have to turn me off for a bit. You've got the Friday morning Zoom meeting. Oh, invite them on board. Hold your meeting in the cabin. Hopefully we'll see you in probably about an hour. But we're probably landing about an hour and a half if we get away on time. So, crew supply, ground control, CRV test. Full cold and dark start this morning. There we are. Get the EDs aligned. Celia, you're watching from Nairobi in Kenya. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. Hush, we're not on PackX, no, we're on self-loading cargo. Let's get the packs off. And let's do the APU fire test. That's the APU. Fire 1 and fire 2. Dwile, yeah, it's about an hour's flight time, but obviously doing real ops, it's not going to be an hour stream, going to be at least a couple of hours streams, so we're here for a while, yeah. And we're just kind of enjoying this pea soup of weather at the moment. Right, all of that is good and set up. Let's come down and get our information off the tablet. So, current QNH is quite high. Look at that, 1041. Very high here for the UK, 1041. Let's have a look then at our expected weather on the operational flight plan for Glasgow. It's going to be much better than it is here. So we have got Glasgow wind 230 variable, great visibility, that's fine. Could potentially drop down to 6,000 meters. There's a small chance of it dropping down to 300 meters, so extra fuel on board, I think, just in case anything like that should happen. Plug fuel is, what is the plug fuel for today? Just under 4.5 tons. If we take half a ton extra overall, we're going to have more than enough. So we'll load 4.7 tons in total. So let's go ahead and tell our fueling crew. What did I say? 4.7. Yeah. No, 4.8. 4.8 tons. And then with the contingency, we've got half a ton of fuel extra. Okay, so refueling is now on underway. We can see that on the refueling page as well. Danny Rumble, good morning to you. Elliot, you're watching from Australia. Usually these streams are live in the earliest hours of the morning, so it's nice to watch without being sleep deprived. Well, Elliot, that is another good thing about a morning stream here in the UK. It means many of the viewers in Australia, etc., can watch it at a reasonable time. Like Orion is also in Sydney, Australia. Fantastic. Dwile, you've got much the same fogginess in Nottingham as well. Yeah, I just heard that on the radio. It's crazy. HD, good morning. What are you doing up? Hope you're well. Good to see you. Fabian, you're watching from work. Balajaraska, you've just got home from work, and this is unusual again for Australian viewers. So great to have so many Australian viewers with us this evening. Ryan, you'll not need as much coffee tonight. Dr. Magic, good morning to you as well. Right, so we've just got the QNH 1041. That's all set. On the center instrument panel, let's just come down and check the pedestal. We're on Unicom. Guard. Flight deck door is currently open. All the control panel is all set. Switching panel is fine. Thrust levers, engine masters, and spoilers, flaps. Transponder isn't in the right place. Let's try setting that as it should be. There we go. Okay, let's come to the glare shield. Turn this up a little bit. Flight directors are on. Pop constraints on there for now. Our initial climb out from the chart is going to be 5,000 feet, so I'll pop that in as well. And let's move across to the instrument panel. Turn these up a little bit. We are using AccuSeasons as well, so we should have some nice winter foliage below us as we're flying out. Iris alignment in 6 minutes. Let's get that APU started. 1, 2, 3. We've got the Aussie gang is here. Great to see so many of you, particularly live rather than watching either sleep deprived or on a replay. Right, so we're going to wait for that APU to fire up. Then we'll start getting passengers on board. HD, our takeoff weight should be 1 second. 63.5 tons. 63.5 tons. If we do a takeoff weight for that, runway 4. That should be great. Thank you. Right, let's look at setting up the box. No jetway today. I believe it is stairs. I don't think the jetway moves over. Oh, it does! Wow, that's going to be a long jetway manoeuvre. Okie dokies. So, over to our ATSU AOC. Let's get everything in from SimBrief. 57 minutes our flight time today. Weights and balance page, and request that. 156 passengers. Let's just add that weight to the aircraft. APU's up and running. Get the APU bleed on. Oh, just noticed we haven't set the QNH. There we go. Aircraft weight is now done. Let's check our data page. Thanks HD. So what have we got? Runway 04, that's the Lima 1 intersection, 67 degrees flex, 136, 136, 136. And green dot is 212. We'll see how that matches up. So IRS is still aligning, but we can also check our aircraft status. That's the correct engine database and the correct nav database, so ACAR's uplink. So our alternate today is, where have you gone? Echo Golf Papa Hotel. Seems the weather is better in Scotland than it is here down in the south of the UK. Flight number today is Easy 659 Tango. Constant activate, flight level 360, minus 58 is the temperature. Tropo is quite close, I'm happy to leave that. And so, departure runway 04 on the Utava 1 Sierra. Insert. Arrival into Glasgow is runway 23 ILS and the Ribble 1 Golf. And I'm going to leave that as no veers. I don't want to fly the full procedure over the Glasgow NDB OVOR. So we'll leave that as no veers. I'll show you the chart in a little bit as well and explain what I'm planning on doing without air traffic control online. So that is 325. I've got 322 on the flight plan. All looks good. HD with his Friday night quiz. Someone's sleep deprived. What's the minimum runway visibility for takeoff? Runway visual range for takeoff. Well, I've already said that the runway visual range here at the moment is 150 meters. In fact, I am just going to double check that, because that was airport visibility. Runway visual range, I think, had been given separately. Oh, right, so runway visual range actually for runway 4 is 325 meters currently. So let me just go ahead and check that the waypoints are the same as the chart. We can do that here. So we've got first waypoint is Barkway, after of course the first couple of points that we see there, and then up to Utava. There it is, clear the discontinuity. And I'm just going to flick through the flight plan. Oh, in 1 minute. In 1 minute. There we go. Pop that into plan mode. That looks like it should on the navigation page, so let's just have a look at the arrival. There we go, and actually that pretty much almost looks exactly like the arrival I was planning on doing anyway. If I'd put the veer in, it would have taken us over the airfield to make the full approach, but I don't want to do that. So that's okay. Right on page, I am going to put the Barkway view on. Bravo Kilo Yankee. That's done. Let's start getting the passengers on board. Packs can come on. Cabin crew, we are ready to start boarding. Fire up self-loading cargo.
Cabin crew, we're all happy with how things are up here, so now open the doors and start letting our passengers on board. Thank you.
No problem.
Are my doors open? Can passengers actually board? Oh, it seems the door isn't open. Why is that not working? There we go. Now the passengers can board. Has anyone attempted to answer HD's question? What's the minimum runway visual range for taking off? For takeoff? I've not seen anyone try and answer that. Onto our init B page. Clear the scratch pad. 58.7. Just checking that is correct with the operational flight plan. Yes, it is. Wind today is a small headwind of 6. Fuel planning 3.2. We've got 4.7. Takeoff weight there then of 63.2, so our performance calculation is valid, and the fuel for the alternate required is a 10. There we go. Extra 21 minutes of flight time. Into the performance page. Transition altitude here is 6,000 feet. Thrust reduction is 1,324. 1, 3, 2, 4. Oh, I've missed the one out. 1, 3, 2, 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. And the engine out acceleration is the same. 1, 3, 2, 4. Flex of 67. Oh, don't put that in the flaps field. That doesn't work. Flaps 1. Clean speed is correct. Green dot is 212. Same as it was in the real world. Just seeing what these V speeds were. Oh, they're within limits, but they're not really close, are they? 136. 136. And 136. Okay. So no one's attempted to answer HD's question. What is the minimum runway visibility range for takeoff? I'm going to take a pop at this. I feel I should know this, but it's one of those many things which just hasn't sunk in and stuck, and I'd probably have to look it up. I'm going to go with 50 meters, 50 meters. Either way, it's higher than it needs to be. Christian, good morning to you. You're quickly glancing in before you head to the barber. Nice. Track hack, good morning to you. Paul, you'll wave on approach. The flight path is right over the house. Excellent. Now, any speed restrictions on on the departure? No. Oh, is it not 50 meters HD? Damn. Oh well, I took a shot. Jimmy, 125 meters. Well done. Did you Google that, Jimmy? Be honest. HD, where can I find this information? It'll be in the manuals, which is knocking around somewhere in the office. Oh, if you could see the state of this office. What is it they say? A tidy office is ineffective. A messy office is clearly a hard-working one. Right, well, all of that looks good. We are still boarding the passengers. Let's look at doing our briefing. Before I do that, I want to check ATC is not online. No, it's not. Oh, Jimmy Young! Right, okay. You're a pilot. Fair enough. In that case, you would be expected to know. Rick Gordon, you live in Stansted and you can confirm it's foggy. HD, where are the minimums published? We know where the landing minimums are published. They're not published in the same place, are they? Oh, there's the low visibility takeoff. Duh. There you are. Alright. Well, there we are. 125 metres, as was. Thankfully, we're well above it. So, with the high intensity runway lights, centre line, and relevant runway visibility range, there you go. It's all on the screen in front of us. Let's brief how we're going to do our flight then. So let's talk about the weather actually first thing. So the weather being as low in its visibility as it is, can we return here? Let's talk about that. If we had a problem and we needed to return here, well, if we had like a medical emergency or something like that, basically nothing wrong with the aircraft itself, then yeah, we could return here. We've got Cat 3B open to us, but as soon as we are downgraded from Cat 3B, so everything is working, then it starts to get a bit iffy. Cat 3A, that runway visual range 200 meters. Well, they're saying that runway 4 is 325, so that's a potential. In fact, even Cat 2, if it's 325, then legally, yeah, we're allowed to do it. Anything that knocks us out to the point where the aircraft's only Cat 1 capable, then no, we would need to divert. My option would be to head over to Gatwick, because the weather is much clearer down there. So we could have Gatwick as our sort of nominated takeoff alternative. Of course, we hope none of that happens. So we are in the Airbus A320NX fly-by-wire working TCAS. It's the dev version. NOTAMs, nothing to be aware of here in Stansted. Threats to be aware of, well, the biggest threat is obviously the visibility, or the lack of. So low visibility procedures are obviously in place. No single engine taxi for us here today, and nice and steady as we go. HD, yeah, unless we're on fire, then fair enough, you'd give it a shot, wouldn't you? It'd be worth a go. I think you'd be forgiven for that. So we're at stand 44, I believe it is. Yeah, stand 44, so we're going to push back facing north on Charlie, and then we'll taxi out via Charlie on to Juliet Bravo Hotel, all the way down, and we can take off from intersection Lima. That's where our information, our calculations, takeoff calculations are valid from. And HD just giving us a nice reminder: low visibility procedures, all control checks, checklists must be done whilst the aircraft is stationary. Everything is much slower as we go when the weather is as it is. So taking off from Lima 1 on the Ottawa 1 Sierra. We've already checked the track, everything looks good. We can get that autopilot on nice and early. No turns below 850 feet, however, so nice and straight out. And then we have our initial climb altitude of 5,000 feet. Sadly, no ATC around, so we can clear ourselves higher as as we go. So the emergency brief, obviously standard Airbus emergency operations if required. However, let's just talk about the engine out procedure. Engine out procedure here is at 1900 feet. Make a left turn to the Parkway VOR, which is actually very similar to the SID anyway. So we can pull the heading bug, keep autopilot engaged, and then once passing 1900 feet, just pop it into nav mode to take us to the Parkway VOR, where we'll enter the hold there. 250 is the inbound track. Hold is right turns. So I'm just waiting for the cabin crew to close the doors.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
That's great, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of myself, the first officer, and the cabin crew, may I welcome you on board this EasyJet aircraft for your flight today. The ground crew and the fueling crew have all finished, and we're just about finished with all our cockpit preparation up here. The cabin crew are making their final checks as they work through the cabin, so if you could please get yourselves sat down comfortably with your seatbelts securely fastened and give them their full attention as they begin their safety briefing. A big welcome on board today to our EasyJet Sim Pilot members, who of course are welcome to free complimentary drinks throughout the flight. Once we reach our cruising altitude, our cabin service will commence and the cabin crew will be able to provide you with drinks, snacks and merchandise throughout the duration of the flight. Once again, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with EasyJet today. We'll have an update for you when we are airborne.
Okay, let's do the before start checklist to the line. So our cockpit preparation is complete. Signs are on and auto. Adheres 3.5 green. Fuel quantity is 4780 kilograms and balanced. The FMGS is set. Altimeter 1041. So high. I've not seen it that high for a long time. Carl, hello from Western Australia. Yes, this is real weather. Mark, that was the fastest Zoom meeting I've ever heard of. Welcome back. Mick, I am using self-loading cargo. I did have an issue closing the door. The problem was I'd just not disconnected the jetway. That's what the problem was there. Right, to just check we are on Unicom, let's announce what we're going to do. Stansted traffic easy 659 Tango is pushing back from stand 44 onto Charlie. Okay, so there's our pushback clearance. Let's get our beacon light on. We'll call the ground crew.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Nose wheel steering disconnected. Start the timer. Acupressure's in the green. Transponder we can pop to auto. Thrust levers are idle.
Cabin crew, please arm doors and cross-check.
Before start checklist below the line. Windows and doors closed and armed. Beacon light is on. Mobile phone is on silent. Parking brake is set.
Stansted traffic, easy 215 Alpha, stand 43. We'll push back onto Charlie, remaining clear of the other
Okay,
aircraft.
sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors.
Stansted traffic, easy 230 Delta, pushing back from stand 33, Stansted.
That's another good thing that HT has just reminded me on. We want to have the ILS on our primary flight display in low visibility procedures so we can track that runway centerline if we need to when rolling down the runway. We will have lateral guidance so we'll know we're on the centerline in this bad weather. Now let me have a quick look. Have we actually got a tug driver today? We might not have got a real tug driver, sadly. Let's have a quick look outside. Oh, we do! I just couldn't see them. Right, quick check behind us and let's see what's going on. Wow, it is misty, isn't it? So, there is a company aircraft taxiing just on our back left. We've announced our pushback clearance, so we're okay to go. We can start the push. We just need to obviously keep an eye on that.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push. Parking brake set.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Slow that tug speed down. We want to go very slow while the weather is as is. Loving that shadow there. Let's start the engines. Engine mode selected to start, and starting engine 1. Paranoia check that the bleed air is on. I think this fog is getting worse. Oh,
Ladies
now
and
HD,
gentlemen,
that
we
is
now
a
ask
question.
for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft.
Not sure I know the answer to that.
A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen
I'll go with the
masks,
obvious answer of
life
2.
jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle, and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for
You
children.
may disconnect.
Starting
Your
engine
tray
2.
table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened.
Holding position.
We
waiting
wish you
for the
a
visual.
pleasant
Thank you
flight
and
with
goodbye.
EasyJet.
Stansted traffic EZ230 Delta, taxiing to runway 04 via Bravo and Hotel Stansted.
Oh, HD, I thought it was an actual sort of restriction. I didn't realise it was just as easy as dividing the amount of lights by what the permitted runway visual range is for takeoff. That makes sense, though. 8.3. Yeah, 8 and a bit. We're just waiting for engine 2 to start up and stabilise. We'll run those after start flows. And just because of how foggy it is, Stansted traffic, easy 659 Tango, completing startup, currently on Charlie West. Just want to make that announcement so people around the airport will know where we are. Right, so engine 2 is now running. Let's do our after start flows. Engine mode selector to null. HD, was that performance calculation you gave us with or without icing? Anti-ice. I'm going to presume that anti-ice was factored in. What's the temperature actually? 5, so I'll pop that on and you can tell me otherwise. Don't need the wing anti-icing. Spoilers, rudder, flaps. And 24.9 our trim. Okay, so whilst we're here and stationary, let's do our flight control check. Full left, full right, and neutral. Full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, rudder, full left, neutral. After start checklist. Anti-ice is on, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 24.9, rudder is 0. Pushback tug is clear, I think. Over there somewhere. Let's announce our taxi and then we'll slowly head out. Stansted, traffic easy, 659 Tango, taxiing now on Charlie West, Juliet, Bravo, Hotel to Lima 1 for runway 04.
Stansted traffic easy 215 Alpha, also on Charlie, we'll follow the company traffic, routing Juliet Bravo, Hotel for Lima 1.
Please prepare for takeoff.
Traffic.
I'm just turning all these things on now because I don't want to be doing them while taxiing in this weather. We need to maintain a visual with what everything looks like outside. Alright, so let's slowly head out. Oh, taxi light, be a good idea. So taking first left. HD, isn't there also a 10 knot speed limit with LVPs? Which is going to be difficult to maintain sometimes, I think, here in the sim. So that's our first left. We want to take our next right. Tell you what, I am very glad that we've got a handcrafted airport here with valid taxiway signs. So this is right now onto Bravo. And left on to Hotel. Does anyone notice as well?
Stansted traffic easy 230 Delta holding at Lima 3 for runway 04 Stansted.
Yeah, just listen to that call. Has anyone else noticed that Sim Update 7, whenever you centre click your mouse wheel to sort of get the panning going, that it resets the camera view? Very annoying, and then you can't zoom in and out. Just try and keep us a little slower. So now all the way down on Hotel, let's try and spot some taxi signs if we can, because we don't want to miss Lima. If we do, it's actually not the end of the world, because we can get to the end of this taxiway with just takeoff from the runway threshold. Our takeoff performance then is still valid. So, is this Victor that's coming up next? Let's just have a look, see if we can see any taxi signs. Can't see any there. I don't think that is Victor, actually. Victor's at a diagonal. So, I bet that was Papa. Ground radar must be an absolute godsend in conditions such as this in the real world. I'm sure many of us are familiar with the incident at Tenerife with the two 747s years ago. Very sad. Now, if we have got a taxiway to the left of us, but no taxiway to the right, that will be Yankee, which I think will be next. Let's check this out. Oh, hang on. What have we got here? Right, so taxiway to the left, that could be Yankee. No, taxiway to the right. What does that say? Ah, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, so just passing Yankee. Stansted traffic, easy 659 Tango on taxiway hotel, just passing taxiway Yankee. So next intersection that we see should be November. And if this is November, this is at a slight diagonal off to our right. That didn't look as diagonal as I was expecting it to. Are we all placing bets now as to how many lights we can actually see once we get to the runway? Some trees coming into view here. Not that they're marked on our charts. Yeah, really, the realistic thing to do, of course, would be to say no, we can't go. That would make for a bit of a boring stream, though, wouldn't it? You'll have seen the setup, but no flight. So is this? Let's have a look where this is. I wouldn't be the first aircraft to get lost in the fog, would I? Oh, I'm wondering... The problem as well is we don't know exactly how realistic this is. Oh, here we go. Well... We've got company aircraft holding short here. There's a severe lack of... is that... I can't even read that. That's Lima, isn't it? There we go. There's Lima. So I'm going to leave our aircraft here.
Easy 23 Saratoga, departing runway 04 Stansted.
So, PEDS check QNH 1042 now. No change to the performance, it's still going to be a Flex 67 takeoff. Engine out procedure is standard, left hand turn 1,900 feet. Departure is the Utava 1 Sierra in the box, and stop altitude is 5,000. And that is set. So, flight control, let's do our before takeoff checklist below the, to the line, sorry. Flight controls have been checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting config 1 is set. FMA takeoff data 136 blue, 136 magenta, climb nav blue, 1 FD2, 5000 magenta, and flex 67. Transponder is set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff, please.
Yeah, even without the with the lack of signs, this is definitely Lima, as you've got Lima Romeo just there off to our right. So we're stopping at the Lima 3, not Lima 1, due to the ILS. And LVP's in use. Stansted traffic easy, 659 Tango, holding short at Lima 3 for runway 04. Now, we heard the company aircraft departing. Approach path, I have no idea if it's clear, we'd have to line ATC. I'm not seeing any comms from traffic around us, so I believe that to be fine. Oh, Stansted ground's online. 121725. When did they pop up? Actually, they wouldn't help us now. We're over the tower frequency, so that would have been helpful right at the start, but now we would be handed over to tower, so that would make no difference to us. Right, brake temperatures are all set. Let's get our lights on and then we'll line up. Stansted traffic easy, 659 Tango, lining up runway 04. Once we've lined up, I'll do the before takeoff checklist below the line. Right, who's counting lights? So, if these are accurate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.3. We're good. Before takeoff checklist below the line. Cabin is secured, engine mode select is normal, TCAS TARA, packs are off, anti-ice is on. And that fog is just starting to come a little further in, actually. Let's go before it gets any worse. So, let me just restart the chrono. Stansted traffic easy, 659 Tango is rolling, runway 04, Ottawa 1 Sierra departure. Okay, take off. Start the chrono. 50% M1. Take off thrust. Man, flex, SRS,
traffic easy,
runway.
215 Alpha, lining up runway 04, 2 minutes of spacing.
knots.
100 knots, checked. V1, rotate. That's a very ominous sight, isn't it? Taking off and having no idea how long you've got left of the runway.
Gear up.
That's nav. Gear up. Past the point where we can turn. So happy with that. I'm going to get autopilot on. Autopilot 1 engaged. Set climb thrust. Thrust climb. Open climb. Accelerating away nicely. Absolutely no contact with the ground. And here we are, we're coming out of that low-level fog already, and this looks tremendous. You've got to love Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, so flap 0, disarm the ground spoilers, pack 2.
Stansted traffic, easy 215 Alpha, taking off runway 04.
No ATC around, let's go to a higher altitude then. We'll clear ourselves up. Flight level 200 blue, set. Turn the tablet off, save some frame rates. Look at that, that is amazing. Absolutely stunning. Through the first couple of turns now, and I'm happy to release the cabin crew. Anti-ice can come off as well. Well, I think that is possibly the lowest visibility takeoff we've had. Certainly live on stream, and I actually can't remember doing another one like that since this simulator was released. So that was great. Really, really good. And we learned a bunch of new stuff as well. Thanks as always to HD. Peer over the glare shield shows those isolated patches of fog, which, funnily enough, I was listening to the radio this morning. That is exactly how they described the UK this morning. HD says that was very well done, apart from turning the packs off when you were moving.
Ladies and
yeah,
gentlemen,
I know.
Please keep your seatbelt fastened while
Could
the
the
seatbelt
PM
sign
not do
is
those
on.
whilst I was
We
actually
recommend
taxiing
that
in
you
the
keep
real
your
world?
seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time. This includes e-cigarettes.
Coming up on 10,000 feet, so we get the lights off. Airport on the EFIS, clear the RadNav page out. Now, normally I would also clear the ILS there. I'm not going to touch that, only for the simple reason that if I do, then I have to manually put in the frequency for Glasgow a little bit later on. Check the performance page, sorry, the progress page. Flight level 360 is available to us, so let's go ahead and set that. There we go. 360 blue. S-Framers, it was cool to take off in. Might try and land in it afterwards if it's still like that. Do you know, I wish I got time to do the return leg. That would be something, can't it? That would be fantastic. Oh, don't turn the flight directors off. Turn the LS push button off. There we are. Wrong one. Barry Bartson, hello. Hope you're well. MS, do I have huge FPS problems when doing flights longer than 2 hours? I don't think so. I'm trying to remember the last long flight I did, really. The simulator's usually running for about 3 hours for every stream I do, and we never usually suffer, so that's okay. And now we're up above that mist and fog. What a beautiful morning. Heading out here. Oh, HD, has something changed then? Transponder should be left on auto. I thought that needed to be on. That's certainly the way we've been doing it for the past year or so. Don't know if that's ever changed, but to be fair, that is good. If that is the case, and we just leave that to auto, then that's very good. In fact, I think the before takeoff in the before takeoff part of the OMB has the transponder and TCAS 2 on and TARA, so it might be worth updating that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the seatbelt sign has now been turned off. You are now free to move around the cabin and the toilets are now available. However, when in your seat, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times in case of unexpected turbulence. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Barry, that is a good question. Does VATSIM turn it on for... does it turn it on for VATSIM though, Willie? Yeah. I wonder if on VPilot... Ah, right, okay. As long as you have Mode C enabled on VPilot, I think that's all that matters. Because you can actually... There is a setting. I forget where this setting is. Oh, there. Automatically squawk Mode Charlie on takeoff. So we can apply that now. So whatever happens here in the fly-by-wire aircraft, VATSIM's now taken care of. There you go. Well, just looking at the weather out there, we've got Rex new Accu season installed, and installed for the correct week. That looks a lot more wintry than it did flights a couple of days ago here over the UK. A little browner and, well, more dead. Terry, have I ever had an engine failure on takeoff in this sim? I have messed about and I have played with it a little bit offline. The problem is the simulator doesn't replicate them properly. So you get incorrect commands given to you from the flight directors. So, yeah. Right, HD will definitely remember that. We can just leave that to auto on pushback, and that's it. Done. One less thing to worry about. Just need to turn transponder on. Daft Birdie on Twitch. Is it just your sim, or does the fly-by-wire latest dev version murder the FPS? I'm afraid that might be your sim. I'm not seeing that reported by anybody else. Where are we at? We're at Firewall 230. Yeah, that just looks so much more wintry down there. Look at that, there's hints of snow. This is where Microsoft Flight Simulator comes into its own with its weather. And with the Rex Accu seasons now thrown in as well. I know at some point Microsoft and Azobo say they're going to add in the seasons, but we don't need to wait now. Willie, you love the Rex season review. It looks incredible. Yeah, it really is. And a couple of people asked me, you know, do I get paid for that review? No, of course I don't. I don't get paid. But Rex do support the channel in that they provided me with a copy of it to test it out, let them know what I think. So every one of the thoughts there was completely honest. I think it is great. Mark, you think you're going to invest in the season thing? It looked quite impressive in the video. Yeah, and obviously I spent a lot of time playing around with that, basically a few hours, and that was just before the bits you saw in the video, of course. I could have bored you with a good hour-long video of that, but I thought that it didn't need it. But really nice. Jimmy, if you have the auto mode C setting on, so by is probably correct if that setting is off. Yeah, I would, just as I've just done in VPilot and shown there, that's definitely the way forward. It does look so much more wintry, doesn't it? And I love the fact that a few fields have got small patches of snow in them. I'm just also really pleased that the clouds seem to be back to their former glory.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Willie, those snow patches you say are definitely accurate on higher ground. It's the first time I've seen such isolated snow patches. We've seen them before. I forgot what flight it was recently, which was really good. But it was obviously sort of like there was a line of snow. But this was literally just isolated fields and patches there, wasn't it? Which was really nice, really good to see. HD, you've been flying too much in real life and you're forgetting that I'm on a sim. We are so pleased to hear that though, HD. We obviously remember the last 12 months or so, which was of course in stark contrast to what it is now. So we're just happy that you're in the air in real life. We do miss you though. Let's hope Omicron doesn't kill things off for the travel business too much. So, although we're still on the climb out, I'm starting to think already about our descent. So I want to be... I'm just going to work out my top of descent point. I want to be flight level 70 by Lanark. So that's the first thing I'm going to work out before I even start thinking about briefing our arrival. So we're going to be at 36,000 feet. So about 100 miles away. We should be able to start that descent. 100 miles away from Lanark. That'll give us time to slow down as well. Willie, the snow is quite resilient. You've seen it lasting for a few days, even in the mild temperatures. Well, it has been mild until it wasn't mild this morning when I walked First Officer George. It was absolutely freezing. Lanark. And 100-mile radius from there. Done. There we go. And given it is just such a short flight, I'm already preparing the box for our arrival, so I'm going to put the Glasgow VOR in there as well. Flip that on. Fruit, is it hard to understand air traffic control if you are a non-native English? They talk so fast. You can ask them to repeat their message until you understand it. Their main duty is to make sure that you understand what they're saying. And even as a full native speaking English, when I'm flying in places like Germany or Spain or Greece, although to be fair, the Greek ATIS has always been pretty good, there are occasions I do have to think really hard about what they're saying and rarely just ask, you know what, can you just repeat that for us, please? And particularly if you're getting a direct to waypoint, if I've asked a couple of times I'm still not 100% sure, I'll get and just say, can you just give us that phonetically, please? No shame in doing that. So what would happen in real life is we would obviously fly the procedure and the Star, the Ribble 1 Golf arrival, and then At Lanark, ATC at Glasgow would probably say something like leave Lanark heading, I don't know, 360 heading north, something like that. So we can do something very similar and then vector ourselves in for the ILS. Now, having a look at the actual flight plan itself, it's got itself looking, oh hang on, let's just go to the plan page. It's got itself looking quite nice anyway. So we might be able to leave this in nav mode for the majority of it. Yeah, I might want to add just a few track miles if we're going to be Flight Level 70 at Lanark. We can see. We'll see. But if I left Lanark heading 360, and then we can come around, bring ourselves in on the ILS. Right, so 500 feet to go. It's very energetic music this morning, isn't it? I'm loving this little cumulus build-ups as well. When you've got what's defined as the hard cauliflower tops. There's Macalt Star. And Alt Cruise. Shame we're not flying to Edinburgh. ATC is online in Edinburgh. So now at our cruising altitude, flight level 360.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we'll be delighted to hear that we're now at our cruising altitude, and we hope to give you nice views throughout the flight as we have good weather ahead and shouldn't be experiencing any turbulence. Of course, this means that you will not spill any of your drinks that you may have from the cabin crew as they begin to start making their way around the aircraft. Could you please ensure that the aisles are kept clear so the cabin crew can offer you their cabin service, which will begin shortly. A reminder that EasyJet Sim Pilot channel members are able to access free drinks throughout the duration of the flight. Thank you, and I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the remainder of the flight.
So we've got the cabin temperature up at 24. We'll try and warm them all up before we drop them off in Scotland. So, Trent, let's see what we should have on our fuel at this point. So Trent, we've got call it 2.7. We should have about 3.2 tons of fuel, I think. We've got 3.4, so that's good. And look at that, high-powered VOR at Glasgow, 191 miles away. We've picked that up. Let's get the latest weather. Also look at Manchester as well, as we're not far away. Did I actually press the send button there? I don't know if I just brushed over it. There we go. Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't see the send thing. I think it did that go, didn't it go? So let's check out what's happening here. Oh, this looks much better. So wind is 230 at 6. Visibility is fine. Overcast 2,100 feet. Temperature 9. QNH 1042. So high. I've never known it this high. Not in December anyway. That's usually is when it's very cold though, isn't it? 1042. Although 9 degrees in Scotland, well that's pretty warm. 230 at 6. Let's grab the charts for the ILS approach. Check a few things on here. Transition altitude then is 6,000 feet. Platform altitude is 2,900 feet. MSA, as we're coming in, is going to be 3,000 feet. Just a slight sector of 4,900 feet as we come in and go around on that. So, Cat 1 approach, runway visibility range is above 550 meters, so decision altitude of 221. Landing on runway 23. Missed approach 3,000 feet. Climbed to 3,000 feet. Initially straight ahead 2,500 to 2.6 from the ILS DME. Then during the climb, left turn to hold at the Glasgow VOR. One other thing I am going to quickly do then, just as I am going to be flying this approaching without ATC help, vectoring ourselves in. Echo, Golf, Papa, Fox, runway 23. I'm just going to extend the centre line out of that. So what is the track 228? So that's 048. Just see how that looks. Make sure that's all worked as expected. There's our top of descent. And there's our extended runway centre line, just for just so I can see that's there when we're coming in. Wonderful. Right, so I think we're about ready for the arrival brief. So we are going to come in on the Ribble 1 Golf arrival, and Christian, thank you very much, Christian, for your €5 donation there. Who says, because it's Friday, happy weekend. Christian, thank you so much for that. That's very kind of you. Hope you've got something good lined up for the weekend as well, Christian. Really, really generous. Thank you for your support and continued support of the channel. So, arrival briefing. We're going to come in on the Ribble 1 Golf arrival. We'll descend via the star. We'll obviously do what we can to make sure we hit these constraints when we need to. The big main one is going to be Lanark, flight level 70, max speed of 230 knots. We're going to leave Lanark then, and we're going to fly northbound. We can fly a heading of 360. As we do that, we will continue our descent down, and we're going to aim to go all the way down to our platform altitude, which is 2,900 feet. As we're doing that and leaving Lanark, we're going to slow down to green dot. And then before we make what will effectively be our base turn, we'll have flaps 1 out and then flaps 2 with the glide slope. Once we get into, hang on, that's not the chart I wanted. 1 minute. Once we then get into Glasgow, there we go. Once we've got into Glasgow, then we will exit on Delta if we can. If not, it's going to be Echo. Let's just check to see if there's anything specific regarding taxiways we need to use. Their A320 operations. A380, sorry, operations. Nose in parking. Safe dock. A380. Noise abatement. 2-3 ILS, not descend below 2,000 feet before intercepting the glide slope. That's fine. We're not going to be doing a visual approach. Runway operations. Runway, aircraft may exit runway 5, yada yada yada. Aircraft exit runway 23 via Alpha 1, Bravo 1, Delta 1, Echo 1, Fox 1, Golf 1. Should be noted, however, that only code A to C aircraft are permitted to turn left from Bravo to Alpha. Right, so we won't be turning left onto Bravo or Alpha anyway. We'll be turning left on to, as I said, Delta or Echo. After that, Delta or Echo, wrong chart. We shall then be parking at the domestic pier. So we'll be going into Delta, Echo, and then Golf. And we'll opt for Lima, I think. Okay, that's our arrival briefing done. So we've got our weather and landing information, that's all done. The FMGC is set and coded. Let me just double check that RadNav frequency, which is, what was that ILS? 110.1. Yep, that's all good and correct. Airport elevation, landing is 21 feet. We'll go with auto brake low today. All happy. 130 miles away.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So apologies if I missed any questions or things like that whilst I was going through the arrival setup. So, Willie, how do you put in the fix? You always miss it. Okay, let me just quickly go through and show that again. So, did you mean the runway centerline, or did you mean the just to access the fixes page? So, you go to the flight plan. You need to select the flight plan button. Then you press the left line side key number 1. And from there, go to fix info, and that's where you can input the fixes, add a radial, radius, etc. I've got 2 in at the moment. The first one is here, our top of descent, which we're about to pass. So we're about to start getting ready to leave our cruising altitude.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear and the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our EasyJet pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the seatbelt signs are turned on. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
So we're now on our way down. I've pulled speed of 250 knots. So Christian asks, when landing, auto thrust on or off? HD says he lands with auto thrust on 99.9% of the time, because he's lazy and it does a decent job. Why make life harder? That's the call of all pilots, isn't it? Don't make things harder than they need to be. Brad4646, thank you for following on Twitch. Thomas Florence, you can say with certainty that auto thrust is turned off for pilots flying a big German airline. Would that be a national German airline by any chance? So you can see the constraints that we're targeting. Company message. Do you know what? I bet that company message is the second meta. I bet I did request it twice, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Not that it's changed, so that makes no difference. Worth reading though, just to clear the eCam screen. Otherwise, that gets annoying. So, what are you guys doing for the rest of your Friday and weekend? Hope it's something good. Once I finish this flight, I have to go shopping. Ugh. And that's just never fun. But I have a choice. I can either go shopping now on my own in peace, or I can go shopping with 4 children later this afternoon. Which would you do? Thomas, maybe it is Lufthansa, but you're not sure if you're allowed to say that. Okay, we'll not say that it's Lufthansa. I'm hoping when we come in on approach we should see some of the more wintry vegetation now that we've got seasonal changes installed. I really like this backing track. This is nice, just cool, calm and collective, isn't it? It's very Philip Glass and Truman Show kind of musical score. J-Hog, take the kids and have some fun. Are you insane? What do you call fun? Mark, send the wife. Oh, I can't. She's busy today. In fact, tonight could be interesting. Okay, you know what, guys? We're a nice, close-knit community, and that's one of the reasons that I love you guys in this channel. My wife's on her Christmas outing with the university crew this evening. Guess why there is no live stream tonight? Unless, of course, she passes out, in which case, then, who knows, I might be here. I'll just pop a bucket next to her. Terry, you've been having crash the desktops with the NVIDIA performance overlay. You've turned it off and now it seems to be working. Oh, fantastic. Paul, good morning. You're back on the exercise bike again and a live feed. Fantastic for you. Alright, that's Speed Alt Star coming into flight level 260. That was one of our first constraints. Let's just turn the brightness up on that a little bit. So that's nice. What we could do actually is we should be able to set flight level 70. And if I pop that, there we go. I'm going to pop that into manage descent. Thrust idle, descent, and now we've got flight level 200 magenta, which is perfect. This works much better when you've got Navigraph data installed because all the constraints are accurate. Steve Ellis, it's definitely is it definitely worth buying the Aki Seasons? You watched the review. I would say so, yes. And as I said to people a little bit earlier on, no, I don't get paid. I most certainly don't get paid to say that. I just really found it to be very easy, very simple, and makes a massive difference. Loving that view. There is something about cool, crisp, clear, wintry flying air, isn't it? And when the pressure is as high as this, visibility really is good. Barry Barton says, Aki Seasons for simming airliners, not convinced, but for VFR, well, you know, Have a look outside. The ground already at this altitude, as we've been flying, we could see it looks much more, well, much browner, much more dead, which is a huge improvement. Check how we're doing on our descent profile. Yeah, looks good. Looks good there. I could probably just slow that down a little bit, to be fair. What we will do as well, because I know there's a few people flying with us, so once we get above Odigi, we'll just make a call on Unicom so people know where we are. A little bit of fog as well in the valleys there that you can see. Mark, those clouds. Yes, indeed, those clouds. Looking superb, isn't it? I'm loving the performance increase I've had from nuking the PC, reinstalling Windows, etc. Everything is much, much better. And would you believe the AccuSeasons video that I filmed yesterday literally spent 2-3 hours in the sim, loading in, out, and I was zooming around, I was slewing the aircraft, getting good views and pictures and all that stuff. Not one single crash to the desktop. Which normally when you're messing around like that, that tends to be when it's going to happen. Oh, I've just broken a golden rule. Do you know what? HCR online, it's okay. I'm going to keep that in open descent. Thrust idle, open descent, 070 blue. Yeah. It, mistake there is the mandatory altitude. Flight level 200 at Odigi. I was going to arrive a little bit too soon. I put it into VS mode, which means, of course, it doesn't respect the constraints. But it's okay. We're not under ATC control. HD, what did nuking the PC achieve? Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, I think we all know that PCs just get cluttered up, don't they? Over time. With files you don't even realise are there. And it was just absolutely fresh. And I do highly recommend anybody that does it, anyone that does do it, nuke the PC, get your fresh Windows installation, and the first thing you install on that is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Don't install anything else prior to it. So I'm now again just going for a VS speed, 1800 feet per minute. Once we get to VAPI, we need to slow down to 250 knots as well. Simmer ATCO, hey mate, hope you're well. Live weather seems to be absolutely fine at the moment. In fact, in Stansted this morning, it was absolutely spot on. HD, yeah, it's okay, it's like clearing the cache. You've no idea what you're talking about. Well, I guess so. I'm no PC expert. There's better techno files on here, like Christian and Dark Fury, who know far, far more than I do. But yeah, basically that's how I imagine it. It's just all clean, sparkly, brand new. There's no other rubbish getting in the way. Glasgow, traffic easy, 659 Tango. Overhead Odigi, flight level 140 inbound on the River 1 Golf for landing runway 23. Willie was a bit of a desperate measure, but he does have advantage of clearing out background applications that might be lingering from old apps. Well, I think we all saw the crash to desktops that I was having that week, so I could, I suppose, have just reinstalled the simulator afresh without messing around with Windows, but all of the stuff that I sometimes have to, that I download to do videos on and stuff like that, all of those apps and things, they hog resources over time, don't they? So it was nice to freshen that up a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. If you could please return
Glasgow
to your
traffic
seats
easy
and ensure
215
that
Alpha,
the seatbelt is
DV
securely
flight level 200, descending flight level 70, expecting runway 23 at Glasgow.
using the instant seatbelt harness provided. Please contact a member of the cabin crew if you require assistance. Thank you.
Mark, you're thinking seriously about buying a dedicated PC for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And Willie, if you had a PC, this is the only thing that would be on it. Well, this is the only thing that is. This is a dedicated Microsoft Flight Simulator and streaming PC. There is nothing else on it.
Glasgow traffic in 230 Delta over Lanark, inbound for ILS runway 23 Glasgow.
And we can see we have that traffic on TCAS. A380AB, it depends which software you're referring to, because there's quite a few things on here. So reduce the speed now 250 knots. Ooh, HD, if you ever got a Flight Sim PC, we might actually hear you on VATSIM. Or would it be text only? I couldn't do that. How people text and fly at the same time, I have absolutely no idea. Okay, 10,000 feet, let's activate that approach phase. Get those lights on. Profile is looking good as well. We've got 46 track miles or so to fly. Plenty of time to slow us down. We can probably just reduce that VS speed a little bit as well. A380AB, we are on VATSIM. So if you look at any of the VATSIM maps, you should see us on there. Oh, can you imagine being on VATSIM and suddenly Darth Vader pops up? Glasgow traffic easy 659 Tango, overhead VAPI speed 250. This is where we start to see the brown foliage down below, isn't it? See the brown trees down there?
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down, and window blind open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish, newspapers, or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Okay, so 25 miles out. As I said in the brief, we're going to leave Lanark and we'll head northerly heading. In fact, we can probably go flight level 3, not flight level, sorry, we'll go down to altitude 2,900 feet. And then we'll start slowing down to green dot as well. A380AB, not every day, but I think we've managed to do 5 in 8 days recently. It might be a bit more actually. We've done quite well last few days. Okay, so we're going to reduce our speed down to 230 knots as per the start. Okay, so I'm now going to turn for that northerly heading. Easy 659 Tango, leaving Lanark heading 360 and descending down 2,900 feet. Throttle open descent, and we'll set the QNH 1042 3000 blue.
Glasgow traffic easy 230 Delta, joining the localizer from runway 23, 12 miles out of Glasgow.
Okay, so let's start slowing down to green dot as well. That looks lovely and wintry down there now, doesn't it? Thomas 1042, oh my god, yeah, exactly. It's really high at the moment. So this is the first full flight I've done since having the Rex AccuSeason add-on installed, and yeah, it's doing a great job. I can't wait to see this transition throughout the years. So we're now coming up to meet the glide slope, which is as we'd planned. So once we've got that glide slope slightly above us, we'll make a left turn onto base, and then from there start configuring. So we'll make that left turn now.
And Glasgow traffic easy 230 Delta, 6 mile final runway 23 Glasgow.
Looking back, we probably could have left it in nav mode, it wouldn't have done a bad job. Okay, flaps 1, speed check, flaps 1. J-Hog, yes, you can run the runway textures and the weather and season things at the same time. They're all different. They're all different mods, so no issues with that. Do you know, I just instinctively put anti-ice on. We're not going to need it. Rox G85, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're well. Okay, so close to intercepting localizer and glide slope. I'm going to pull 180 knots. We'll go flaps 2, speed checked. Flaps 2. And I'm going to set a VS rate of 1,000 feet per minute. In fact, we probably don't need to go that extreme. 800 feet per minute should keep us nicely on that profile. The glide slope is well above us. Might even be able to even less. 700 feet per minute. Looks good. Paul Warren, you're down there. Yeah, you said we were flying over you. Okay, let's make a turn.
$2,500.
Radio altimeter alive. So, alt, glide slope, blue, lock, blue, alt, star, cat 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Ooh, we're a bit low, aren't we?
1,000.
Lock star.
1,000.
12 miles to run.
Glasgow traffic easy 230 Delta clear of runway 23 Glasgow.
Glasgow traffic easy 659 Tango establishing runway 23 11 miles. So the initial meta had overcast clouds, I think, at about 2,300 feet. Glide slope star, missed approach altitude 3,000 feet, set.
Cabin crew, seats for that.
Glasgow traffic easy 215 Alpha, but established RLS runway 23 12 miles.
Glasgow traffic easy 659 Tango established 8 miles, reducing speed 160 knots till 4 DME. Nice gentle light headwind as well, so hopefully shouldn't be too much troubling us as we drop out of this cloud layer. So coming up on 6 miles, let's get that landing gear down. Spoilers. Get the lights on. Five and a half miles to run. Christian, I looked at that. That temperature made me raise an eyebrow as well. Okay, let's get configured. 1,000 feet. Flaps 3. Flaps 4. Landing checklist. Landing speed. Flap speed selected. So, cabin secured for landing. Auto thrust. Speed. Go around altitude 3,000. Set ECAM memo. Landing no blue. What was that decision altitude? 221. Can anyone see an airport? Let alone a runway. Oh yes, there you are. Just
500.
coming into view there. There we go. 500 feet. Autopilot disengaged. I have control. Look at the fog on the horizon.
300. 100 above.
Those winter textures looking really good, aren't they?
Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And spoilers deployed.
Traffic
First green.
5 Alpha, 4 mile final, runway 23.
Decel. 70 knots. Disarm the ground spoilers and we'll vacate left.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area.
Glasgow traffic, easy.
On behalf of the
659
captain and the
Tango.
crew, it has been our
runway
pleasure
23.
looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or EasyJet app.
Much better weather here, isn't it? Right, just whilst I'm going straight here for a second, let's just slow down, make sure these lights are all off. There's that aircraft coming in behind us, perfectly spaced. And then, as we had briefed, we're going to take a right in a moment. There's our fellow company aircraft. Get back on that taxiway. Too busy watching other people. Oh, don't want the probe window here, I want the APU. It's not that cold. It's better weather here than it was down south. And this is scenery available from Orbex's Pirigis Scotland Glasgow Airport, or Glasgow Scotland Airport.
Glasgow traffic, easy 215 Alpha, runway vacate.
Really good textures and details on this airport as well. Another one that I will highly recommend, and now it's here, flying to more frequently. We just need a way of softening the brake pedals. Does everybody else's marshaller drop their right hand baton? And stop. Parking brakes set, and shut down engines 1 and 2. APU bleed is on. And do we have ground vehicles? Yes, we do. So let's call them over here, and then we can shut them down. Oh wow, look at the passengers! Haha, nice! I'd not spotted those. Seatbelt signs can come off, beacon light not required anymore, external power is connected. There we go. Get the transponder onto standby. Oh, it already was 2000. As we had no ATC, we can leave that. Fuel pumps coming off as well. Everybody, welcome to Glasgow. Hope you have all enjoyed this Friday morning stream. Awesome weather leaving Stansted, and what a fantastic airport this is. This is the first time I've flown here. This is oh, this is beautiful. We'll definitely have to do more departures and arrivals into Glasgow. I particularly like all the detail inside there. For me, that is just the right amount of detail. That is not the sort of stuff that's going to be clogging up system resources, but from a piloting point of view, when you've just landed, it just looks really really nice. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed that this morning, please do hit that like button before you leave. Makes a huge difference to the channel, so thank you to everybody that does that. If you are new, please don't forget to hit subscribe. Make sure you don't miss our future live streams and videos. To those that have donated and contributed to the channel during the stream today, thank you so much. And of course to EasyJet SimPilot members for your continued support of the channel. Thank you for your kind generosity. HD as well, as always, big thanks to HD. I will be back. I'm not actually sure when I'm going to be back now for the next live, but I do know that we're planning on Monday. This will be confirmed on the Discord server, but on Monday will be the Santa run. I'm hoping a full day's streaming as we go and visit Santa. Route to be confirmed, but we'll be off high to the northern latitudes, so that will be great fun, and then it'll be a return journey as well, so all day there and back for a full day stream. Thank you very much everyone. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Who knows, if the wife passes out, that could be tonight. Good, have a great Friday everyone. If I don't see you before, have a great weekend. Bye bye.